Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video of Final Fantasy XIV with me, your host, JSauce. And today we bring you the coverage of the live letter. We will cover patch 5.18 and the first part of patch 5.2. And if you do want more videos like this, do consider subscribing and dropping a like, as it will help us. And without any further ado, let us begin. Patch 5.18 will release this month on December 24th, and it will consist of the removal of the weekly restrictions for Eden, Normal, and Savage. The Deep Shadow Solvent will now be available to purchase with the manufactured coins, and Season 14 of the Feast will launch with this patch. Just a side note here, there might be a delay on the launch date due to some adjustments on the jobs and on the Grand Company. And finally, PvP actions and PvP rewards will be adjusted and fixed according to the 14th season of the Feast as it launches. And this will conclude what the information we have about patch 5.18. Which brings us to patch 5.2, which will be released in mid-February of 2020. We start with the MSQ, which will conclude the Shadowbringers saga. They showed us this screenshot, and in this, what appears to be Albert following up on the last scene outside of Yulmore, where we do catch a glimpse of him right at the end of patch 5.1. Next up, we will have the new dungeon, which will be called Anemnesis Anadir. I might have butchered the name. This dungeon is also compatible with the trust system if you're feeling antisocial. And from this patch only, as they announced, they will only be releasing one dungeon per patch. This is mainly due to the large amount of already existing dungeons, and it also gives the possibility of devs to allocate their resources to other aspects of the game that need to be improved. We'll also have a new beast tribe called the Katari, and it will mainly be focused around gathering. The new Chronicles of a Newer Era will be called the Sorrow of Erlit. And he showed up a couple of screenshots of what will be happening, and it will take place just after Estinian destroyed the facility at the end of 5.1. We'll also have a new trial, and this new trial will be the Ruby weapon. I don't know if you guys remember that from Final Fantasy VII, but it wasn't no walk in the park. It will be released alongside with this extreme version. Also, they did hint at the second primal, but they are not releasing its name or details until much later. In fact, they actually state that we will only find out when the patch notes for 5.2 come out. So do look forward for that. The second tier of Eden will be released in 5.2. It will be called Edenverse. Both normal and savage modes will be released at the same time. Next, we have this screenshot. Now, we don't actually know if Ramuh is making a comeback, but Yoshida did make a statement, and I quote, "What comes to your mind when Ramuh is involved? Maybe there will be orbs. Who knows?" End quote. So at this point, it's really uncertain what we're looking at, but I do think this has a definite connection to Ramuh. In fact, the design kind of looks like something out of the Final Fantasy XV Ramuh, so we're going to have to wait and see. New Quest series upcoming event, which I reckon they're talking about the Relic weapon and its gear, seems to be designed as a standalone event. The name and exact nature of this event are still a secret. However, they did drop a hint saying that it's focused around the home of the Rotgar, called Boja Citadel, and it will be released with the patch 5.2, and it shall be updated regularly from that point forward. On the subject of job adjustments, sorry about that, they did say that Red Mage will be buffed due to the feedback from the players. Also, further information on adjustments for other jobs will be coming with the second part of the live letter. Now, Ishgarden Restoration Update. They did make a point to go over the context behind the content, showing a picture of the before, which is without any tents, and the after, as we can see here, that has the tents that we constructed. And they basically said that more updates to come with the rest of the patches, so it kind of moves forward like we were thinking. No big surprises there. Up next, we have the Diadem. This will be redesigned as a Gatherer exclusive instance. You will be able to enter as soon as you have a Disciple of the Land at least level 10, and you no longer require to have cerulean tanks for the trip. Items that you gather here will be used in the restoration of Ishgard, and you will be compensated for your effort in the form of Skybuilder scripts. You will not have mobs trying to kill you. It is now a peaceful place. It's also cycle based, which means you rotate to each island as you go along. It's unclear at this point if it's on a weekly basis or a daily basis. You'll be able to level your gatherers in the Diadem, and while in there, you will have a gauge called the Atheromatic Auger. It charges as you gather in the Diadem, and you can use the full gauge and the wild animals that exist within the instance to obtain additional items. Next, we touched on the expert recipes. New collectibles will be added to the roster for greater rewards. We also have something called Kupu of Fortune, which is a new feature coming with patch 5.2. It's basically scratch-off tickets that you get after turning in a certain number of items. Then you'll just have to scratch and see what you get, right? So good luck on that one. Next up, we'll have the ranking system. So this will be a system implemented in the restoration of Ishgard, meant to reward players that contribute the most for it. There will be separate rankings for gatherers and crafters. The rankings will be taken in a 10-day period and posted on Lodestone. This system works very much like the Deep Dungeon ranking system. The rewards will include titles for top rankers and various rewards for people that contribute for the restoration. Now, they did mention that this system is more dedicated to the hardcore players, that when you have a new phase coming in, they'll just, jump on it. So, more updates in the future. Now, for the crafting system, we will have some updates. So basically, the actions will be adjusted once again, and a new feature will be added. As far as company crafts, you will no longer require a party to advance the projects of a company. In the case of having a submarine, when you complete a phase, you can advance for the next phase of the submarine without having 4 crafters on your party. Now, going back a little bit, the new feature that will be added to the crafting system will be a skill simulator that will be introduced in the game and allows you to test your rotations, much in the sense that we have a training dummy for combat classes. Now, there will be a new Sky Steel tool system, which seems to be a form of crafting relic. I'm not sure if you guys are following me. And this will be introduced in patch 5.2 as well, and you will be able to upgrade it over multiple patches. So now crafters and I believe gatherers will have a relic tool as well, so this is great. The material system will also be changed. Now, the main change that they referred is that you won't lose the gear that you convert into materia. So, for instance, if your equipment rate is on 100%, once you try to convert into materia, you will get your materia, and instead of breaking the equipment completely, its durability or spirit bond. I am not sure which one is it because they didn't really specify. We'll go from 100% to 0. So if anybody has more information on this, I would appreciate if you guys let me know. Now we reach the topic of ocean fishing. Now, guys, this is a brand new piece of content, and it's only exclusive to the fishermen. The whole idea is that a number of players will board a boat at a specific time, head out to sea, and fish. The results of this expedition will be rewarded again with Sky Builder scripts and EXP for your catch. There's also certain conditions that, if met by the party that's fishing, will give you the chance to bring in a big haul. And this will be content that will be worked and improved upon as coming patches will be added in the future. And last but not least, we'll have the miscellaneous updates, which will be, we will have new elegant tombstones, obviously. Additional new game plus chapters are going to be added to the roster. Your FC will have a new rank, and fellowships will be available from your companion app. Also, and this is a weird one, umbrellas will be added. I'm not sure if this is a glamour thing or they're talking about something else. I'm really not sure about this one, guys. And with that concludes the portion of the live letter that was concerning the updates that will be coming in the future. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope this video helped, and if it did, do consider subscribing and dropping a like. It will really help us out, and thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, peace out.